Hey guys, Abby here. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. In this video, we're talking all about armor mods, how to use them to boost your stats and make your build more powerful. If you enjoy guides like this and you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a member for additional perks, or you can use code Abby at gamersupps.com for 10% off your energy drink order. If you're new to Destiny or you're coming back from a long hiatus, armor mods can be quite confusing at first, but they actually provide a lot of utility and strength to your character build, and I would even go as far to say that they are necessary to complete endgame content. First, let's go over how to acquire armor mods. Some of the basic stat mods are default on your character, and the rest you'll either acquire from Banshee in the tower, as he sells one armor mod and one weapon mod each day, as well as through vendor rank up packages, endgame activities like the Nightfall, or raids for specific raid mods. Seasonal events can also provide new mods. However, the current season of the hunt, there are none so far, but keep an eye out for that. You also unlock season specific mods through your artifact when you level it up, so make sure you unlock and select your artifact mods on each character. You can view your mod collection to see how many mods you have and what you're missing. This is also a good way to reference which mods go on which pieces of armor. For example, on our helmet we've got ammo finders, and on our legs we've got scavenger mods. You'll also notice some mods have an energy affinity in the top corner there, which limit them to an armor piece of the same energy type. As we discussed in my previous armor video, you can change your armor energy using materials, but it gets pretty pricey, so you'll want to decide on one for each piece. We'll talk more about my recommendations for that later. So let's go back to the armor details screen and take a look at the different types of mod slots on each piece of armor. First, we have the general armor mod. This is on all 5 armor pieces, and it takes any general armor stat boost. So you'll see here we've got discipline, strength, intellect, mobility, recovery, and resilience. Beyond Light introduced the +5 stat boost as well as the existing 10 that we already had, so this allows us to tweak our builds even further if we only need another 5 to get up to that next tier. Adding these mods to your armor will boost your stats in that category and show on the armor piece and in the main character screen. The next 2 mod sockets are specific to that piece of armor. You can see the head symbol here. This is the helmet armor mod. As you remember, in the collections tab, each piece has their own type of mods. For this helmet, we have ammo finder mods and target acquisition mods. In Beyond Light, they move some of the energy specific mods into these slots as well, as you can see hands-on here. They said that they wanted to create more competition for these mods so that you had to basically make the decision, do I want an ammo finder? Do I want hands-on to gain bonus super energy on a melee kill? The next mod socket on your armor is either going to be a legacy armor mod like it is here, or if you have any of the new armor from this season, going forward, you're going to see the combat style armor mod. Now, the only difference between these 2 mods is that your legacy mod is also going to take any of your Nightmare Hunt, Garden of Salvation, or Last Wish raid mods. And then raid armor is going to have an additional mod slot, so 5 mod slots here, and this one is going to be specific to the Deepstone Crypt raid. Each raid has their own specific mod socket, and in these sockets you can add any of the raid mods that you've acquired. So let's go back to our helmet here. As you can see, we're slotting these mods in here, and it's taking up these sections here up to 10 because this item is masterworked. Now, if you only have 6 or 7 energy, just know that you'll be limited to that as well. Currently, we're using 8. 2 for the +5 recovery, 3 for the grenade launcher ammo finder, and 3 for the hands-on armor mod. So we have 2 left here that we could use one of our other combat armor mods on, or if we were going into a raid, we could also put Taken Barrier on for Last Wish. So as you guys can see, you can use a pretty good amount of energy just by putting a couple finder mods on. Let's say we wanted grenade launcher and then we wanted shotgun finder on there. That's 6 just for those 2 mods. So this is why it's super duper important to try and find armor that has really good stats, because then you don't have to add too much to the stats through your mods. If you're having to put a +10 recovery or a +10 intellect on every single armor piece that you have, that's 4 and 5 points that you're just wasting out of your 10 points. And that's if you have the piece masterworked. A lot of people aren't going to even have their armor pieces masterworked yet, especially if you're just starting out and you're just kind of putting the feelers out there for what you want. You may have about 7 energy available. Usually that's where I stop until I have enough prisms to feel comfortable upgrading pieces that I really like. So if you have 7 and we're already using 6 for these ammo finders, we're only going to have a point left. So we wouldn't even be able to put a +5 recovery. So at the very least, try to find armor that has high recovery and high intellect if you are into those stats, which I highly recommend that you be into them because they're really great in PvE and PvP, but they are the most costly mods to add to your gear. So you want to make sure that you have those stats on your armor so you can put your +5 discipline mod on here just like that, and there you go, there's your 7 pieces. Now if you have an item masterworked and you want to go ahead and start plopping on these legacy armor mods or the combat armor mods on the new gear, then you can do that as well. You've got 3 points. You can add a little taking charge with light mod. You can start working on your charge with light build, and you've got a lot more options that way. All right, now that you guys know the basics, let's talk about my specific build and what types of energy I like to run on my armor. Over time, I've settled on 2 void pieces, 2 arc pieces, and a solar piece. And this is mostly because of the combat style mods that I like to put on my gear, especially in endgame content. So I'm going to show you guys those now. Keep in mind, you guys may or may not have these mods depending if you played in that season or not, but keep an eye on Banshee as he can sell any of these mods. But the energy specific mods that I like to run are Powerful Friends, especially on my Hunter, Protective Light, which is a void mod, Warmind's Protection, which is a void mod, or Power of Rasputin, Lucent Blade, Reactive Pulse, and sometimes Incinerating Light. So that's an overview of which mods I like to use. To give you guys an example, we're going to take Bunker E15, which is the Legend Lost Sector today at 1250. I'm going to show you guys what I run to get through that Lost Sector, and I'm also going to have the footage on the screen for you guys. We're going to be running a Stasis Hunter with Mask of Bacchus for our armor exotic and Anarchy for our weapon exotic. You could also use Royal Chase here if you're having trouble with the Void Shield Minotaurs, and then use Friction Fire for the anti-barrier. This loadout would be your non-Warmind Cell build loadout. If you do want to run Warmind Cells, then I would recommend 7 Seraph SMG or Ikilos SMG, and then the Night Watch for your primary for the overload. Now you can also rely on your grenades for the overload, but I find with this particular Lost Sector, I can have trouble hitting the first overload captain because he does teleport around a lot. So if you lose that grenade, then you lose out on a lot of time trying to stun him. But let's go over the mods on my armor. So on our helmet, we've got an intellect stat boost +5. We've got grenade launcher ammo finder and reactive pulse. Reactive pulse is super slept on. I feel like it is an amazing kind of damage resistance, oh no type of moment. While charged with light, when you take damage surrounded by enemies, you emit a burst of damaging arc energy. This is really great, especially with this Mask of Bacchus, because I assume it does more damage that way. And you also get an overshield while you perform your finisher, which is great in those solo Lost Sectors if you want to finish any of the champions. Then on our arms, we're going to obviously put our anti-champion mods on here. We've got overload rounds with the scout rifle and anti-barrier with the SMG. We've also got a +10 mobility on here to get my dodge cooldown back, and then we've got global reach. And you guys can see here I still have 4 unused points, but we don't have any more slots left, and that's because when I'm playing normal content or I'm playing with a group that's taking care of other champions, then I normally put reload speed here instead of the overload. When you're in a group, you can rely on those grenades to stun the overloads a lot more than when you're solo. Next up, we've got our chest. We have another mobility +10. I've got concussive dampener on here, which is great for any kind of area of effect damage. This includes like fire, stomp mechanics, any type of like boomer, arc damage type stuff. So I always put that on there if I don't want double reserves. And I don't think double weapon reserves is working right now. It seems to be pretty inconsistent whether it works or not. So I just go with 1 grenade launcher reserves, and then we pop on concussive dampener here. And then in our combat slot, we're going to be doing taking charge. This is going to allow us to become charged with light when we pick up orbs of power. So whenever we get multi-kills, we're going to be popping orbs for ourselves. This is going to help proc reactive pulse. And then on our legs, we've got a recovery stat increase. We've got the grenade launcher scavenger from the artifact. It's only 1 point, which is really great. This allows us to also use powerful friends here for the plus 20 mobility. Now, you guys were asking me where I got this mod. It was a previous season mod, but Banshee did sell it. That's how I got it. So hopefully he'll be selling it again soon. And then we put traction on here for the increased movement. You also could put invigoration or anything else you want in that slot as well. I just prefer the movement, especially in these lost sectors. And then on our cloak, we've got another plus 5 intellect stat increase, and we put thermal overload and surge eater from the artifact on here. This is going to allow us to stun the overload champions with our grenade, and whenever we stun them, we get our grenade back. This is extremely good with the stasis dusk field grenade. The dusk field grenade will actually stun them twice in one grenade, and it's going to slow and freeze them. So this is extremely amazing and a go-to whenever I'm doing lost sectors. And then last here, I put high energy fire. This is going to give me a little bit of extra damage when I'm charged with light. It consumes 1 stack of light, and my reactive pulse also consumes 1 stack of light. So there may be times where this won't proc because I already got the damage on the next skill here, but I don't mind having both of those. If you're having problems taking too much damage in the lost sectors, you could also put protective light here, and then we could go down to here and use our class item for our charge with light. And that could actually run a little bit better, a little bit safer. And then that way you're only using your charge with light to protect you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me for the video all about armor mods. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I definitely want to make some Warmind Cell mod videos in the future and some charge with light mod videos in the future. If you guys want to see those, let me know down in the comments below, but those will be more of a deep dive into different builds that you can do with them. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.